Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We're here today to make a super fun card. I'm going to try to not ramble in this video, but right now everything is in just like disarray. Good disarray, but disarray all the same. My craft room is in the process of being packed up because I'm finally moving this time. Allegedly, supposedly, God willing, Golden Girls help me. So everything is everywhere. I have my craft room just kind of in piles of my tier tray stuff. I bought a lot of tier tray stuff. All the mugs and stuff that I bought here, I bought a lot of mugs in this last year. My home decor pieces that I bought, also like my towels and dishes and like kind of stuff, other stuff I bought. And then there's my craft side. I haven't really touched the craft side as much. So, yeah, but it's mass chaos and we're going to work through it. So we're going to go ahead and come to our happy zone and we're going to make a card. We're going to make this card, right? How fun is this? I know that was super fast. I'm going to do it again. My camera doesn't like me doing it, but it'll bear it. We're going to do a little bit of tweaking. We're going to make this piece a little bit longer. I just put this twine here because that's what I had on my desk and I can't get to my ribbon right now. Okay, I had an oopsie daisy smudge, but then it looked good, so I left it alone. Okay, and it is a full card front, so you can put your, oh, I didn't put a message inside. I do have pre-cut stitched rectangle card panels that I like to use for the inside. All of the products that I use are going to be linked in the description box, so if you want to buy it, the name and the number will be in the description box. Okay. So I'm going to put this on the inside. And this next card is not going to have stitch rectangles because I can't get to my my big die cut machine. So what I use today is the Taco Fiesta set because it was just Cinco de Mayo. And I didn't get to make anything on that day because I was super busy and packing and whatnot. So we're going to use the Taco Fiesta and we're going to make our own backgrounds and we are going to color and cut. Well, to be honest, as you can see, I already colored and cut what I was going to color and cut. I'm just going to stick that there like that. But we're going to do basically the mechanisms together. Alright, so I used the Taco Fiesta. You can see clearly what pieces I used. And then I also used the Happy Birthday from the Sentimental Park, which they're both in the annual catalog. The May 2023 through April 2024. We're also using the in colors, which are on page 122. I used Wild Wheat, Copper Clay. So I used those two colors there. And then I used Old Olive, which is in the Regals collection here. I thought those three colors looked great together. I also used the in color 6x6 sheets of paper. I used my ink pads and I also used the in color dots. And I think that is all I used. I used a white gel pen and I used my Tuxedo black, Memento Tuxedo black ink for the outlines. Okay, and in case you want to know, Sentimental Park is on page 36 of the catalog. I was going to say calendar, good lord. And Fiesta, Taco Fiesta is on page 52. Again, it will be in the description box. Okay, let's get started. So you're going to need your standard card base, which is the 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, standard base. Go ahead and fold that and varnish. Oh gosh. Make sure it's folded correctly. you know, definitely check the size of your paper because I've noticed the paper has been about 1/8 of an inch too big. All right, so now you're going to decide what paper you want to use. You have a couple of choices. You have your hearts, these dashes, or you have polka dots or stripes. So for this card we did hearts, and for the new one I think I'm going to do the polka dots. We're going to cut that at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I may or may not have the measurements in the description box. I don't know, to be honest, but I go pretty slow. So 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So basically just 1/8 of an inch smaller. If you want a bigger border, then cut your paper accordingly. I just like a little tiny border. Right, now we're going to go ahead and taper, glue or tape or adhesive of your choice, your base paper down. Okay. And then next we're going to go ahead and cut all of our mechanism pieces. Okay, so we're good with this right here. We can move it to the side. Now we need to make our mechanism pieces and whatnot. Okay, so for this piece here, you're going to cut a piece 1 inch by 4. If you don't want that little border, then cut your paper accordingly, but I'm doing mine at 1 inch by 4. So 1 inch by 4. Okay, so we have that piece. Now for our base waterfall piece, this long piece right here that we're gluing all of the little pieces on, that's going to be 2 by 11. Now you can make it smaller, but this one is 2 by 9, but I feel like it's just too short. I want it to be a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna do mine a little bit longer, but I think this is the, yeah, I have to get a different sheet of paper. I would do it longer. I don't want to cut into a whole nother piece of paper for this card, so mine's going to be short again, but I suggest you do it 2 by 11. I'm going to put that measurement in the description box. That way you can always cut off if it's too short, but I mean if it's too long, but when it's too short, you know, that's it. So here you go. You can always make this piece thinner as well if you want, so that's really up to you. I'm going to go ahead and make mine just a little bit thinner just so you can see what it would look like if your back piece was longer. Alright, we're going to take that 2 by 11 piece and we are going to score it at a couple of places. We're going to score it at 2 inches. Two and 3/4, 3 1/2, and 4 1/4. Okay, oops. So again, 2 inches, 2 3/4, 3 1/2, and 4 1/4. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to place that to the side, and then we're going to go ahead and cut our squares. So if you don't want a monochromatic look, you can cut your squares in any color, but I'm going to do mine in the same wild wheat, and these are going to be 2 inches by 2 inches. So 2 inches, and you're going to need 4 of them. 1, so 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2, and 2 by 2. Okay. Alright, now you're going to need your white panels, which I have already cut mine out because I wanted to do some of the prep work beforehand. You're going to need a white panel that measures 1 7/8 by 3 3/4. You're going to need 4 white squares that measure 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Again, if you want thicker borders, then cut your paper accordingly. But I just wanted a tiny little border. I like 1/8 of an inch borders. You might like 1/4 of an inch border, so then you would cut your paper 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 if you want that bigger border. But mine are cut at 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our waterfall pull tab. So your long piece that we scored. If you put the shorter side towards you, we're going to mount and fold all of these. And I don't know what I do with my thing here. Here we go. So mount and fold, mount and fold, mount and fold, and mount and fold. Okay, so you got something that looks like this, right? Now let's open it all the way up. So now the shorter piece is on top. This is where you're going to decide what you want to do on this bottom piece. You can just take a hole punch and punch a hole right there around the corners, do whatever you want. Or you can go ahead and use this punch, which is on the clearance rack right now. I just double checked, it's still there. It is midnight, technically May the 11th, so it's still there. It's the fancy tag topper. It's on clearance for $13.80. So if you want to get that, it's on the clearance rack. I cannot guarantee anything on the clearance racks is going to be there when you go to buy it. It's the clearance rack. So you're just going to do that. If you can't get this punch, then go ahead and just round your corners and put a little hole in there, right? Okay, so now is when you want to put your ribbon in. You can do it at the end. It's just a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but it's absolutely doable because that's what I did with the other one. And that's what I'm gonna have to do because, like I said, this is all I know wears of any type of ribbon or anything. So I'm gonna wait till the end to do mine for that. Okay, so our mechanism is done and our little piece is already done. So you can go ahead and put this part together on your card first, or you can wait until you do all your stamping and then do it later. So I'm going to opt to do it later. So I'm just going to put my card, this is my sample. I'm going to put my pieces over here while we prep our other pieces. Okay, so I already have my bottom, holy guacamole, it's your birthday, this piece here. I already have that stamped and prepped. And I have this one stamped and prepped. Like I said, I used wild wheat, copper clay, and old olive. Okay, and Tuxedo Memento black ink. Alright, so let's make our backgrounds. What we're going to do is take our old olive ink pad and we're going to take our avocado down here. Get you some type of stamping mat, whatever you have. And we're just going to make a background. So we're just making this background here. You're just going to stamp the avocado wherever you think it looks good. No rhyme or reason. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just stamp it on and off the paper. It does not matter because you're covering most of it up anyway. So just kind of do, however you want. Now, I don't really like how this one turned out. So guess what? We're just going to flip this right on over and we're going to do it again. And this time I'm going to actually pay attention. Okay, so just wherever, however, Oh yeah, this one came out much better. I like this background. Okay. All right. So we are done with our avocado. And then let me clean this off. And then you want to go ahead and stamp your avocado 2 times with your black ink. And then you're going to color it in with your blends. And I will have a list of the blends that I used, but I can quickly show you. I think I still have it. Yeah. I blended Mossy Meadow, Granny Apple Green, and Old Olive together. And the center is Wild Wheat of this one and Copper Clay of that one. And then I just took a white gel pen and made some little marks on it. So now you're done with your avocado. So now we're going to go ahead and prep our second background, which is the avocado with the little chips. And that we're going to use wild wheat, as I just almost dropped my paper trimmer. Now, my wild wheat stamp pad keeps getting caught. So to open it, it's a pain. I am going to contact Stampin' Up! because they will fix it. This is what happens when I try to open my wild wheat, because you have to put a lot of force into it. And for 90% of y'all, that is not a problem. But for me, because I don't like my hands dirty, it makes me really, really upset. Like, my anxiety is at a 10. So I don't want a stamp pad that's going to cause me to have a conniption every time I have to open it, right? So yeah, I don't know if it's broken. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay. Now that I'm calming down a little bit from that, we're going to get our little chips and we're going to just put it on your block however you want. And again, we're just going to stamp it. Sorry, my block is a little dirty. Any random order, right? So just stamp it. This is what I did. Stamped, I rotate it, rotate. Obviously, you're going to have your own method. And then I just filled it in. Just like little pieces of chip here and there, like the little crumbs in the bag. Doesn't really matter. More, you can have more, you can have less. I just kind of wanted to fill in some of that white space, and I'm good to go with that. And you're going to stamp your chips in your Memento black ink again. Well, not again, but in your Memento black, and you're going to color it in with your wild wheat blends, which looks like, here are the 2, wild wheat and copper clay. Again, the numbers will be in the description box. Alright, so our last background is going to be our little chili pepper. Now, I was going to do the chili pepper in red. I was going to do red, but then I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with the same color palette. My chamois, it's dry, so I have to use my baby wipe. Okay. This thing right here does not want to stay. Alright, so I'm going to put my chips back, and then I'm going to get my baby pepper, which little baby peppers down here. The tiny one. There's a big pepper and there's a little baby one, and I just decided to use a little baby one. And we're going to use our little block. I do like the little block. This is the A block, in case you were wondering. And what I'm doing is the background for this one here. So I did upside down and right side up. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do my Old Olive first. Here we go. And again, we are just stamping along. It is going to be a little bit of a pattern, but that's okay. There's my old olive. Oh, I should have left the wallet lead open. Now I have to do the wild wheat. See how, look at the difference. And then this one, I gotta put the life into it. Oh, good, it didn't get me dirty that time. All right, now I'm just gonna flip it upside down and we're gonna go for it. Now, I know this card is taking a long time, A, because I'm talking a lot, and B, because I'm going super slow, so any level can successfully do this card. You know, we all had to start somewhere, so it's nice when you can, you know, go a little bit slower sometimes. Right, backgrounds are done, and the last background I did was the little candy drops. Candy drops were the little candies. I stamped the, actually, what did I do first? I stamped the Holy Guacamole, and then I took the candy stamp and I went around it. So you can do it however you want. You can mask it and all that, but I craft easy and lazily, and so I just went around it. So now all of our backgrounds are done, and now you just have to color. Did I not clean that? Now you just have to color your cut apart pieces. So your 2 avocados and your guacamole bowl and your little chips. So did y'all see what I did there? I did a male avocado, a female avocado, and then a bowl of guacamole, like the mama, daddy, and the baby. And then just Holy Guacamole, it's your birthday. Alright, so let's go ahead and prep these. Now you can prep them all at the same time, or you can do one at a time. I like to live on the edge and do them all at the same time, so that way they get stuck to other stuff, and then it annoys me, and then I say, oh my gosh, next time I'm going to do it one at a time. And well, next time I do it all at the same time. So yeah, that's how we do. Alright, so we're going to line this up as best as you can in the middle. So 1, 2, oops. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. 3, and 4. Okay, you can put these in any order that you would like. You can use any stamp set. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put dimensionals. Of course, my dimensionals have to come out in this. And my scissors. I use my dimensional edge pieces as well. It's gonna be too big. And then to be honest, I was too lazy to get my minis. That's why I had to cut my edge pieces. It's okay. There we go. Alright, and again, you can do one piece at a time or take off all of your backs. You know, it just depends on how bad you want to annoy yourself. Because it always happens. Look, I almost stuck that on top of that one. I never learn. Do as I say, not as I do. Do one at a time. Alright, so I'm going to do my avocado with the mustache on my avocado background. I'm just going to put it wherever in the middle. Doesn't matter. I kind of want... Well, I wanted that whole avocado to show, but I did it too high, so... Alright, there's that one. Next, my avocado without the mustache is going on my chips background. So, there's that. And my guacamole bowl is going on my peppers. And I wanted my green peppers to be the ones that are the correct way. Oh, wait. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my chips down. Kind of in the corner. So that way I know where my guacamole bowl needs to go. Just kind of floating in the air, right? Okay. Right. And then we're going to put our holy guacamole, it's your birthday, on your last panel. So now we're ready to make the card. We're going to take our little strip that was 1 by 4, and you're going to take a 1/4 inch tear and tape, whatever tape you have, or you can use your glue. If you're using wet glue, then just put a little bead down each side and let it dry. Like, seriously, let it dry. Okay. We're going to pull our card front back in. Make sure your card's open to the correct way. And you're going to go up about, I don't know, let's see how far I went up. I went up about 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches. You can do whatever you want. Okay, now what we're going to do is your part that you either fancy label punched or you rounded the corners and popped a hole, you're going to put that underneath like so, and you're going to take some tape runner or a piece of non-permanent adhesive just so you can line this up, okay? Because you need it to line up. And you know what? I probably should have did that before I did this part. Ooh, I got it off. Okay, so you need to do that. Sorry. If you already stuck it down and you can't get it off, well, you're fine. It'll be fine. So I want mine roughly there. So put this roughly here. Oh gosh. Okay. Now we're gonna see how we want this. I think I just put mine in the exact same spot, but that's fine. Depending on how much you want above and below your mechanism, that's where you want to put your strip. So, okay, once you get it to where you want it to be, now you can go ahead and peel that little piece off, and now you know where to put your permanent tape. You can use glue here if you want to, but I'm gonna go ahead and use tape. Just make sure that's burnished really well. And see how I kept it lined up to where I needed it to be, making sure it's straight, and lay it down. Okay, so now your mechanism is correct. Because remember, we put this piece underneath the belly band. Okay, so if you didn't quite get that, obviously you can do it now. Okay, so there's your mechanism. Yours is going to be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, or whatever, however you did it. There's another trick too, that if you want this piece to be longer, but you didn't cut it long enough, you can always cut this piece right here because we're going to cover it with a full square. So it does not need to be that full length. Those are just the measurements I had from, I don't know if I told y'all, I got the measurements 2008 from Penny Keener, who is Keener Inkers. She's another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that taught me everything I know. So you can always cut this, and then it makes this piece shorter and you can fool around with it. So if you oopsie daisied, don't worry, you can fix it. Now you're going to take your glue or your tape and you're going to, oh my gosh, what's going on with my tape here? It didn't want to tear. You're going to put it at the very top near that, near the top score lines. You don't want to go over the score lines, right under it. And on this top one too. Okay. Here we go. Make sure you don't have any overhang. And this is where, again, you can put your pieces on first before you do this whole belly band thing. However you're comfortable. All right, so you're just going to line it up, making sure it does not go over your score line, or else your mechanism's not going to work. Okay. And then go ahead and take the last two. I need a pokey tool. I don't know where my take your pick tool went, so my good old ice pick here works great. There we go. And then I have this one here. And then my mustache guy here. Okay. There you go. So now you have it. And you have your little pool. Okay. So now you're going to pull it all the way out and you're going to add your piece here. Again, you could have did this first. But to be honest, I forgot. Surprise, surprise. You're going to put that wherever you want it. Like so. Okay. There you go. And you're done. Except for all you need now is your inside piece, which you can use the largest stitched rectangle, or you can just cut a piece of white, which that's what I'm going to do. Just take a piece of white, cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. This does give you the bigger border, so you don't have to write as much. And I'm just gonna tape mine in the inside. You can fancy corner it, like if you want to round the corners or make the corners, you know, a different shape, like on the Very Best Trio Punch has the different shapes on there. But I'm just gonna leave mine square, rectangle, whatever. So you see I have the bigger border. And then you're just going to take whatever stamp you want and stamp the bottom. And you're going to stamp your envelopes. I'm just going to stamp everything with the Holy Guacamole. It's your birthday. Okay. In Old Olive. So here we go. One. We're going to get our envelopes, which I don't have any on my table, but I'm just going to stamp it on the left side of the front of my envelopes. And that's it, guys. So I always do 2 of the same cards. So how I put my ribbon or what you want, I just did a little slip knot. That's it. You can tie it however you want. But there you go. And you still have room to write your message on the inside. Right? Now, if you didn't want to make this into an actual card, you just wanted it like this, you could always write your message here and just not have an open card. It'll just be a card front, like a postcard. Or you can put it in like your mini album. Oh, I forgot the little gem things. Okay, gem things. I have no idea where the gem things went. Alright, they're literally right next to me. It's midnight, guys. It's actually almost 1 a.m. For this one, I'm going to use the smaller ones. Only because I made my little piece a little bit smaller. Oops. Okay. There you go. Alright, I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.